All right, so there's a rundown of my top 5 go-to everyday whiskeys for you. Now, let's look at some runners-up. And there's one more that I really just love it, and it's got a great price. It's also got great whiskey and great pedigree, great terroir, and they use amazing wood. And the one I'm talking about is Glenmorangie. This is the 10-year-old. And I'm going to open this sample, which I guess means I'll also be doing a re-review of this one and tell you a little bit about this. Now, unlike many other whiskeys that are done in ex-bourbon oak, this is all ex-bourbon oak. Compared to almost all single malt whiskeys that are done in ex-bourbon, this one has the unique distinction of being aged in only first fill and second fill ex-bourbon oak. And even more interesting is that the company that owns this, LVMH, bought their own bourbon distillery known as Woodinville. So probably we're going to see some interplay between Glenmorangie's own forest in the Ozarks and Woodinville in Washington State and Glenmorangie. All right. Wow, two openings today. Here we go. And a very light color. They may use a bit of color, but not much. But let's just have a look at this. It just has this gorgeous, fruity, coconutty, just delightful scent to it. And also delicious going down. Cheers, everybody. In fact, I believe this has improved over the last few years. Glenmorangie 10-year-old. Definitely something I will keep on my shelf almost every year, if not every year. All right, now then, some runners up. What do we have here? Lefroy Carchus. These always seem to be very good value. This one is something that people are divided on. I'm not. I'm really for this, and that's Cutty Sark Prohibition. It's 50% ABV, and it's also unchill filter. This is the only big brand blended Scotch whiskey that is unchill filtered and also presented at such a high strength. Here's an American single malt I highly recommend, and that is Stranahan's. Now, this is the Diamond Peak. It's a little bit more expensive, but the basic yellow label is amazing. This is a Campbellton region single malt known as Glen Scotia. This is their double cask, and it is just a lovely introduction to the series. Also highly recommended are the 15-year-old Victoriana. I'd love to try the 18. I have not tried that yet. Looking forward to it someday. Another bourbon I really enjoy is Knob Creek. Now, this is the rye, but I really love the bourbon also, especially the 120. And this rye is just to die for. So Knob Creek, this is Jim Beam at its best, and I am loving it. Here's another Speyside, and this one is Glen Grant. In fact, I think it's the only Speyside I've got here. Glen Grant, always a performer, always a delight to taste, both the old range and also the new. The 18-year-old is already winning awards and actually cannot get it now because it's sold out here. At the bottom end of the single malts, please do not poo-poo this. This is McClelland's, and this is the Highland single malt whiskey. This is actually Glengarry. You can spell that Garryock if you want to spell it phonetically in Western English. Anyway, just a delight. It's 40%. Yes, it's probably got color for sure, but the price and the flavor, the ratio there, well, I should say the flavor to the price, the ratio there is very, very high. All right, and the last one that I want to talk about, actually there's one more yet. This one is Ball Blair. Now this is the O2. Every year they put out their most recent, youngest version that are 10 or 11 years old. So this one's 10 years old. Actually, it's 9 or 10 years old. And have not tried this one, but I've tried the 05, and I just love it. And I know this is going to be great. So I'll get one of these every time I see it around. And lastly, as many of the WhiskyWhistle fans know, I'm a real big fan of Wild Turkey. Now, this is a special bottling called Kentucky Spirit, but it's bottled at 101 proof, and it's basically just a single cask version of Wild Turkey 101. And that's what I'd like to recommend to you is Wild Turkey 101, and of course this Kentucky Spirit if you can find it. But the 101 also is such an easy one to get at such a great price. You cannot go wrong with those. I hope you like that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little circle emblem down there, and check me out on Patreon. There's some cool things coming up very soon, especially something that, should I give a hint? Well, there'll be a textile involved very soon as a bit of a thank you to my patrons. All right, anyway, so thanks everybody. We'll see you again very soon. Make sure you watch the next one, the top 5 Don't Go To Whiskeys here on WhiskyWhistle. Thanks for watching WhiskyWhistle. Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.